it's Melanie First Mayers from Eden Mayers HR Consulting. HR Consulting to keep you out of trouble and delivering your passion. So it's Thursday, which means it's blog day or vlog day. So I hope you're doing well and enjoying this month where we're talking to you about health and well-being. So this is week 3 and I am going to talk to you today about your work environment. Your work environment is really vitally important. So, and it's not just the colour of the walls or whether or not you've got the latest Nespresso coffee machine. It's more than that. Your work environment consists of your geographical location, your physical location, and the people around you, because obviously those around you make your environment. If the mere thought of going into work every day, or just turning your laptop on if you work from home, is filling you with dread, the chances are you're not being very productive because you're not feeling very motivated and your working environment isn't right. So when I used to work corporately, they used to call me Monica because I had this issue with mess. So the moment I came into the office in the morning, I had to make sure it was tidy. So if there were dirty coffee cups, they had to go. Stacks of papers needed to go, either need to be shredded or they need to be filed. It just needed to be tidy. And I often found that at lunchtime when I went to wash up my own bowl and fork in the kitchen, I'd end up just standing there and washing everything else that was in there because it was just became my habit to make sure everything was tidy. And that kind of followed on to me as an entrepreneur. So when I first started the business, I was working from home and I really struggled to get the full 8 hours in or however many hours I said I was going to do that day, mainly because by the time I got back from dropping off the children, I would then spend another hour, doing laundry, tidying up, fluffing pillows, running the Hoover, all totally unnecessary right at that point in time. But I couldn't sit down and focus until I'd done that. And the other thing that I found was, being an entrepreneur could be lonely work. So if I was at home all day, I probably would spend a certain amount of time on the phone. I'd also spend some time on WhatsApp, on Facebook, seeing what's going on, chatting to a few people, just to feel that sense of community, that sense of camaraderie. So one of the things that I needed to do for myself is make sure that I had a good working environment. And so now I work from a co-working space a couple of days a week, and it's great. It's really clean and tidy because they've got their own Monica there to make sure everything gets done. And so I can go in, I can turn on my laptop, I can work. It's a lovely environment. I'm surrounded by amazing people who do a whole bunch of different things. So I have really interesting conversations and I'm mentally stimulated. And it feels nice, and it's in a good way because I have a start to my day and an end to my day because I get into the office, that's the start, and when I pack up to leave, that's the end, as opposed to when I'm at home where my working day can kind of stretch from sort of 7 a.m. all the way through to 10 p.m. or beyond. So, you need to work out what works for you as an entrepreneur and also what works for your team to keep them happy and motivated. So I am going to give you a few tips that you can use to ensure that you have a working environment that inspires both you and your team, and that will help you to be more productive and more creative, and also that hopefully that means more and more satisfied customers and clients. So number 1 is location. Location isn't just the street that you're located on, the transportation links and what shops are nearby. Sometimes just moving your desk so you can see out of a window and get some natural light makes a huge difference to your environment. So your location could also be how you are set up within your office space or within your home space if that's where you work from. Number 2, your furniture. So being flexible about your working space is a really great way to improve your environment. So think about things like, so for example, a section where you can work standing up. So often when I work from home, I do work standing up because I find it gives me a bit more energy and I find I get more done that way, and I quite like the fact that my view is different, so I like doing that. Another thing is, having sort of non-traditional chairs. So for example, I have one of those backless chairs, so you sit on it and your knees have a rest, which is really great for your back And again, it's kind of a bit more of an upright position. I feel a bit more awake and alert, so I like that. I also like sitting on those lovely bouncy ball things. Those work quite well. And I can normally do like, 3-4 hours on that before I'm like, okay, fine, I want to slouch now and sit like a normal person. Also, the other thing is having some breakout space. So for example, if I've got lots of documentation to read, I might print that out and I might go to the breakout space in the office, so that's more comfy chairs, and I'll go and sit there and have a coffee. I don't need to be in front of my laptop, I don't need to be in front of a desk, and sometimes that helps. The other thing that I also have done both corporately and still do now is I walk out sort of to the nearest green space. So also sometimes if I've got some stuff that needs to do that doesn't require, again, my laptop, even though obviously I can take my laptop out in the green space, I'll go and do that. So again, when I've got paperwork and things that I need to do, or I'm doing some creative stuff and I'm just taking my journal with me, I will literally just go and sit on a bench in our park. I'm lucky we've got a park and lovely fields nearby, and I can go and sit there and watch the ducks and do some work, and it's actually very nice and calming to be able to do that. When I worked corporately, I used to go and sit, for example in Westminster, I used to go sit on the steps of the Church of Smith Square, which is beautiful and lovely, and was a really lovely place to just kind of sit and feel the sun on your face and get some work done. Next, what else? Then there is your actual, I guess what I would say, the environment. So these are things like making sure that your area is clean and tidy, that there isn't any trip hazards, making sure there's ample storage for things so you're not consistently looking at a desk that's full of piles of papers, and all of the nice little extras. So a good coffee machine, having fresh fruit to hand or water, having snacks, all of those things make a difference, not just to you but also to your team, because staying hydrated helps to keep the mind fluid, and even a little bit of dehydration is enough to stop you from thinking clearly, and a little fruit, a little sugar, little carbohydrates helps to keep you going, helps to energize you. So it's good if you can have those kind of things going on too. The other thing to think about is noise levels. So depending on what you do, I've worked in environments that are very salesy, where when you're on the floor where the sales team is, it can be quite loud. We've put things in like dividers, so there's half dividers to help hold the sound in a little bit, and also move it around. So if you've got a sales team, say towards the back of the office and other things towards the front, it means that also even for your sales team, when the noise gets a bit much for them, they can kind of step away, and they've got somewhere to go. So think about those kind of things. If you're one of the things I like about the co-working space I work in is they have a couple of rooms that are a bit like phone booths, I guess. So if you're on your phone, you can just go and sit in there and have a phone conversation. You don't have to worry about disrupting the people around you, and that obviously works really well too. So those are the tips that I have for you around your working environment. So just to reiterate, it's having a look at your location, having a look at your furniture, having a look at your equipment, and having a look at your noise levels. Please do let us know what improvements you'll be making to your working environment in the comment section below. Let us know how you found this, and please do let us know if you have any questions. Also in the comments for this video you will find the link to the blog on this subject too. Take care, have a good day now, bye.